Hello there, and welcome to this episode of the Star Wars Universe podcast. I'm your host James, and I'd like to wish you a happy early May the 4th. This episode is not what I had planned. I actually had an interview with the fantastic Hayley Hobbs from Source Pages and Multiverse News and a multitude of other podcasts. But unfortunately, technical issues prevented us from having me on the call, actually. It was my side that was not recorded, mostly. What I am planning on doing, actually, is actually releasing it completely unedited. And just because I think Hayley had so many great things to say, we discussed Celebration Japan, we discussed Andor Season 2, and a whole host of other things as well. So I am going to release that, and I just want to put out a warning there beforehand to anyone who is going to listen to it. The quality is not great. I drop in and out constantly, and for that I apologise. I don't know what happened. I have spent quite a long time trying to fix it, and I just can't. I just can't. It's unsalvageable, and unfortunately that happens from time to time. But what we will do instead in this episode is I'm going to run through the headlines from Celebration Japan, as well as my initial thoughts on Andor Season 2, Episodes 1 to 3. And then we're going to have a look at what I've done the rest of April in Star Wars, and it's actually worked out quite nicely because I can actually include a certain trip to a cinema that I had recently to go and see a little film celebrating its 20th anniversary, Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. But starting with Celebration Japan, the big news we have is there's a few big headlines actually. We had the Mandalorian and Grogu movie trailer, yet to be released, I believe. I haven't checked today to the public, but I have seen it. It was on Twitter. It was on X, not on Twitter. On X. It's the same thing. Twitter, X, completely interchangeable at this point in time for me. And it was a good trailer. It got me hyped up for the movie. The Mandalorian armor looks different. It looks like it's received a little bit of that movie money into it, which is great. I'm looking forward to it. The Razor Crest is back. How? Why? What's going on? What's happening? Intriguing. And it just looks like it's going to be a good fun film. It really does. There's Light and Magic Season 2 is now live on Disney+. 3 episodes. I think they're about an hour long. Haven't watched it yet. It's on my list of things to do through May. But that's a behind-the-scenes look at the history of Lucasfilm and Industrial Light and Magic and all of the groundbreaking work they do and have done over the past nearly 50 years. And Season 1 was great. It really, really was. I think this one focuses more on the 90s through the prequels, from what I heard from the panel at Celebration. So I'm looking forward to watching that when I get around to it. We had an announcement of a couple of Art of books for The Acolyte and Andor. And Andor is going to be Seasons 1 and 2 combined, and The Acolyte is obviously just going to be Season 1. I am hearing some rumblings about Season 2 of The Acolyte, so watch this space. I enjoyed The Acolyte, I really did. Really, really did. So we'll see. Phase 3 of the High Republic is going to be the end of the High Republic, and the final story is going to be a story called Beacon in Star Wars Insider. And hopefully they will collect all the short stories like they did for Starlight Stories and Tales of Enlightenment. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope they do it justice. I have absolute 100% faith that they will. They've had many, many years to plan this out, get it all really nice and tight, and know how they're going to do it. I just really hope they stick the landing. Speaking of comic-related news, the Millennium Falcon is going to be getting a story in comics, and I really, really hope it's an adaptation of the Millennium Falcon book, which I did recommend to Hayley, but you have to read that once you have read, at the very least, the New Jedi Order, Legacy of the Force, and Fate of the Jedi series, because it spoils those series, and that's not any small feat. That is 19 books in New Jedi Order, another 18 in the other two series, because they're 9 each, and they're fantastic. Legacy of the Force is such a good book series. Book 5 is heartbreaking. It announced that there was going to be a new Knight of Ren introduced in the Legacy of Vader. Fine. They seem to be popping up here, there, and everywhere at this point in time. Why not another one? They're a bit like the Inquisitors, aren't they? They're just there to add to if you need to. One interesting bit of news that was announced was actually a conversation about the upcoming book Master of Evil. And it's set, and when it's set, because they seem to have found a gap in the original 2015-2016 Vader run in the comics. They found a gap in time in there, and they've set the Master of Evil within that time frame. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how that is, how that works, and all the rest of it. I saw some stills from the new Edge of Balance manga, and they are bringing Yoda into it, and Yoda in manga form is a big double thumbs up from me. It really, really is. Got a small, minor announcement about a certain Sean Levy film starring Ryan Gosling called Star Wars Starfighter. So that's the next film on the slate after Mandalorian and Grogu. We did also have confirmation that all of the other movies are still being worked on, including Rogue Squadron by Patty Jenkinson. So we'll see Jenkins. You know who I mean. The awesome director of Wonder Woman. So I'm looking forward to all of those things. I really, really hope they happen. I'm most looking forward to James Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi. And I'll revisit that a little bit in Andor Season 2. And what else was there? Young Jedi Adventures Season 3 comes out later this year in the autumn or fall, as you guys on the other side of the pond are prone to calling it. We did also see the unfinished animation fight from the Clone Wars between Boba Fett and Cad Bane fighting Anakin Skywalker, which was pretty cool. Obviously it's a bit clunky because it's unrendered and unfinished, but it was pretty cool to see it, and I'm really, really hoping we see something similar in the Tales of the Underworld, which is out on May the 4th, following up from the next part of the Tales series. So hopefully that's going to be good. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. Then a gentleman we all know by the name of Sam Witwer came onto the stage. This was the last really big announcement for me, and announced that Maul was going to be getting his own animated show set between the Bad Batch, I guess, and Solo, and it's him leading Crimson Dawn. So that's gonna be interesting to watch. And he's got a pink Twi'lek apprentice, which I think the current consensus is this going to be Darth Talon finally brought into canon, because that was George Lucas's original plan. Are they gonna pull the trigger on it? And it's Sam Witwer. The man knows Star Wars. He's an absolute genius when it comes to pitching what he wants and getting what he wants when it comes to doing stuff within Star Wars. I still really hope we see at some point a live action Starkiller. I'm not really holding my breath for it, but it would be definitely cool to see. And obviously we are hopefully going to at least hear him and hopefully see him in Ahsoka Season 2. There was some concept art dropped for Ahsoka Season 2, which my favourite from that was Chopper with a minigun. That's going to be so good. That maniac does not need a weapon. He is a weapon. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the whole of the Filoni-verse, Favreau-verse, Mando-verse, whatever you want to call it. I'm looking forward to the continuation of these things. And I am so hyped for it. The only other thing that really came out of Celebration, two things that came out of Celebration before we wrap this portion up, is Visions Season 3. It's returning to to the different anime studios, and we are getting more stories around Ronin and his droid, and the Ninth Jedi, which is also getting a spin-off series, Visions Presents the Ninth Jedi. That is going to be cool. I'm really, really looking forward to that. And a really appropriate place to announce it. So we then have the final thing that was announced at Celebration. It's coming back to America. It's going to be Los Angeles in 2027. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's see. I'm looking forward to it. I love Celebration. We have D23, I think, a little bit later on this year as well, where they announce stuff. We have, obviously, San Diego Comic-Con. We've got loads of stuff where they can announce stuff. And, yeah, it was a good celebration. It was a good, busy, Star Warsy weekend. And I am looking forward to what they announced and what's coming down the pipe, really. But turning our attention to Andor Season 2, Episodes 1 to 3. I've seen mixed reviews online following watching those 3 episodes, and I just don't get it. Now, I have been very vocal in the past around not really feeling Andor was for me, and then I rewatched it, and I watched all 12 episodes, I think, in 3 days. And I think the format just suits it. Binging over a short period of time for an entire arc is just the way to go with Andor. And Diego Luna is fantastic as Cassian, and he actually made me like him, which I really didn't in Rogue One, and I didn't in my first watch through. I think there was a hangover, really, from Rogue One. But there were so many great characters. Genevieve O'Reilly as Mon Mothma. You've got Stellan Skarsgård as Luthen Rael. And so many other brilliant characters who are introduced. Dedra, Cyril, the whole ISB side of things. You've got Vel, you've got Perrin, who is really unlikable as a character, as Mon Mothma's husband, and the whole Chandrila element of it. It's very Alderaan in how it feels, which is not. I didn't think I'd ever use Alderaan as a verb, but here we are. So, Season 2, first arc, episodes 1 to 3. It had its ups and downs, but I think altogether it pulled it out of the bag, and I would give it a solid 7.5 to 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. I did genuinely really enjoyed it. The bits I didn't enjoy were the idiotic group. I don't even know if they're rebels on what turns out to be Yavin 4. That whole plot was purely there to keep Cassian away from the farming planet with Bix and Bravos. I want to say Bravos. Keeping them from his crew. And B2 Emo is... he's still one of my favourite droids. I love him. The stutter just adds so much heart to the character. And there is that scene with Bix and the Imperial person. I don't know what rank they are. Doesn't matter anymore. They're no longer with us in the show. Don't know anything about the actor. Hopefully he's fine. I don't have an issue with it myself, but I understand why others did, and I think the way to get around that is to just put a warning at the beginning. It's a very triggering subject for some people, and I think they should just be warned that that's what's in the show. And I think if they'd done that, then all of this noise would have gone away. I remember seeing at the top, on my Disney Plus anyway, in the UK, it flashed up in the top left-hand corner about violence and alcohol/drug misuse. So they warned us about the final scenes with Mon Mothma just going full rave mode, which was fun, tragic, and heartbreaking to see all at the same time. But they could have put in a warning, I think. Outside of that, I don't have any issue with it being in Star Wars. I don't think it should be removed. I think it should just have the warning for those who may want it or may need it. But outside of that, I thought the whole arc was brilliantly done. I thought the outcome of that scene was fantastic, with Bix not needing to be saved, saving herself. And yeah, I just thought the whole arc was absolutely fantastic. I thought the introduction with the TIE Striker, I think it's TIE Striker. I've seen a couple of different names floating around online. I'm going to call it a TIE Striker, where Cassian doesn't know how to fly it and is banging around that hangar, and he's like scraping it along the cliff edge. The one thought that went through my brain is, so they do know how to not make the wings break the second they brush up against something, because TIE fighters are notorious. Clipping something, wing breaks, they spin off. But plot armor for our main character, it was never going to happen that way. We did get to see range troopers, which was cool, or a range trooper, which was cool. I enjoyed that. And yeah, there was just lots of cool little things in there. Really, really cool little things in there. And I'm looking forward to the next arc. I'm probably not going to be able to watch it as quickly as I did this one, but I will watch it over a couple of days. And yeah, I will let you know what I think come the next episode. I am thinking about how I structure this podcast a little bit at the moment. I want to maybe split it out a little bit more through the month, and maybe fortnightly, where we have our monthly update and feedback, and then just stuff I want to talk about. What do you think? Let us know. Drop us an email, starwarsyoupod@gmail.com. Interact with me on X @starwarsyoupod, or also now on Instagram @starwarsuniverse, YO Universe. So yeah, Andor Season 2, big thumbs up from me. Good solid, as I say, 7.5 out to 8 out of 10. And I just think it's a really, really good series. I'm looking forward to it. I just genuinely am. How it's going to conclude, I want to see how they meet K2SO. It does make me fear for all of the characters, really, with the exception of Cassian and Mon Mothma. No one else is off the table in terms of not seeing out the season. So the whole scene with Dedra and Cyril and Cyril's mum was hilarious. I think everyone has been in that position at some point in their lives, where it just cuts and Cyril's just laid on the bed, just like, oh my god, what is happening? it got a genuine belly laugh out of me in that moment, and I absolutely loved it. But yeah, so that's Celebration and Andor Season 2. The only other thing we've got coming, I was going to talk about the link between James Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi. They keep talking, or Luthen, more specifically, keeps referencing the Rakan Empire, which is circa 20,000 years prior to the events of Andor and A New Hope, BBY. And I know James Mangold's was originally meant to be 25,000 years. I'm just putting it out there, Hu Yang is also 25,000 years old as a droid. I'm just putting that out there. I think he is going to be the connective tissue between that film and the wider Star Wars universe. I've said it before to people. I don't know if I've ever said it on the cast, but I'm saying it on the cast now. Mark it down. I said it. I'm calling it now. 1st of May, 2025 episode. That is my call. And hopefully I'm right. But outside of that, we have Tales of the Underworld coming next week. Are you excited? Let me know. Asajj Ventress is back. Cad Bane is back. And I think we are going to be in for one hell of a ride. But we're going to turn our attention now to what I've been up to in Star Wars in the last month. And then we'll have a look at some feedback. So starting, as we always do, with games. I still have not played Jedi Survivor. To be fair to me, it's been a very, very busy month in terms of a project coming to an end, which has resulted in 6 weeks or so of just nose to the grindstone. And then I went away for a week, and then it was Easter. So there's been very little time. But I am hoping to play it at some point this coming month. I will play it, I promise you. So I haven't made any progress there. But Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, I have made quite a bit of progress. So in my pursuit of the Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano, Sabine and Hu Yang are now Relic 7. They are done. Really, really pleased with that. Ahsoka Fulcrum is Relic 8 with one more piece of relic material needed. I have all of the data signal for it. I just need one thing, which is just time sensitive. I can only acquire it one way, and it's just going to take a bit of time to do that. So I have also, following that, I will be done. I'm ready for the Ahsoka Tano event. So what I've done following that is I've bookmarked the requirements for Galactic Legend Jabba, not Ezra, the Hutt, the actual Hutt, and also the requirements for Bo-Katan Kryze. I had to star up a number, all four, in fact, three of the four. I had Beskar Armor Mando at 7 stars. The other three were at like 4 or 5 stars. They are now all 7 stars, and Beskar Armor Mando is just gone into relics. IG-12 is Gear 12. Paz Vizsla is Gear 12, and Kelleran Beck is Gear 12. So things are moving ahead. I am enjoying my time in the game, as always, as I have been recently. It's not as always. There was a period of time where it became a bit of a chore. But I have really, really been enjoying it recently, and just got back into a rhythm with it. I am actively participating in Territory Wars, GAC, which is not going well, which is the player versus player format. I think I've lost my last 5. So I'm not doing well on that at the moment, but we move. We'll make it work. And And that's about it really on the games. I'm enjoying it, and we'll keep going, and we'll make it work. On the collectibles side of things, I saw a post go up on my local area, sort of freebie type thing, of just a whole load of Star Wars books. And I was like, yes, please. They were all reference books. They were incredibly heavy. There was a lot of them. And it's all the visual dictionaries and cross-sections of all the vehicles and everything else like that. And there was also the Star Wars 365 book, which I had wanted years ago. And it's something Star Wars happens on every day. So I've currently split it up into what's gone onto my reference bookshelf, which has filled out a lot of gaps. And I have a stack literally behind me as I record this, which does also include a copy of Splinter of the Mind's Eye. So it's not in the best of condition, but it is a copy of Splinter of the Mind's Eye. I need to do a little bit of looking into it and seeing if it's a good edition or anything like that. I don't think it is, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll keep you updated on it if it is, and if it's not, then I won't. But yeah, a whole load of books, visual dictionaries. There is a Legacy comic in there randomly as well. I think it's like volume 4. So I've never read the Legacy books. I know about them. I know the general story arc. I know Darth Krayt and all the rest of it. Cade? Yeah, Cade Skywalker, who is Luke Skywalker's great grandson or something. Yeah, it's enjoyable. I will probably look to read it at some point if I ever get caught up on the mainline comics. But as it stands at the moment, that's a long way off. Speaking of comics, my comic reading has taken a little boost this month over recent months. I have read The Legacy of Vader, issue 2, and thoroughly enjoyed it. And I have read Fear of the Jedi, issue 2, again, thoroughly enjoyed it, really enjoying the storytelling in the High Republic, as I always do. Jedi Knights 2 is okay. It's enjoyable to see a lot of the council members getting into different situations, but it's fine. And I also read Darth Vader Volume 10, which is the finale to this current run of the Darth Vader comics. I don't know if the Vader comic is coming back, because obviously we are kind of at a point where his story has now been told as Vader. And so I don't know if we're going to get an actual Vader comic, which makes me sad. I think a Dr. Aphra comic got announced at Celebration, or that she'll be returning at the very least in another comic series. So we shall see where that goes. But I'm pleased with the current state of Star Wars comics. I still have the remainder of the Dr. Aphra series to read, and I think I have now started the latest volume, which would be volume 3, I think, of the mainline comic series, which is set between Empire and Jedi. So, started reading that. I'll probably skip this May the 4th comic sale, because I still have quite a lot to read through. I just haven't got through them this year for various reasons. But yeah, it's all going well. Taking a quick step back to collectibles, just because it was a neat segue to go into comics there. My Star Wars Unlimited Jump to Lightspeed collection is coming along nicely. I've added another 6 more cards to the set, which leaves me only 11 remaining. And if you want to follow my progress on that, head over to the YouTube channel. And whilst you're there, if you haven't already, hit subscribe. It helps the channel out hugely and is really appreciated by me. And if you are interested in Star Wars Unlimited, then tick the little bell icon. It will tell you when I upload, and you can follow my progress there. Books wise, I am about halfway through Fatal Alliance at the moment, which is the next book we are reviewing in the Sacred Jedi texts for over at Source Pages. I'm enjoying it. It's fine. It's not the best. It's certainly not the worst. I'm about halfway through. So we'll do a much deeper dive and review over at Source Pages when we do that episode. I don't have a time frame for that at the moment. I just want to get the book done and dusted before we sit down and discuss it. So I have picked up Into the Light, which I am very much looking forward to. I had a hilarious conversation with Hayley and Todd in our Sacred Jedi Text group chat about a certain mineral-based life form, geode. It was good fun. It was good fun. It was very silly and it was good fun. And I've got Empire's End ready to go as well. So I think that will be my listening order. Finish Fatal Alliance, Into the Light, and then Empire's End, and get the Aftermath trilogy done. And then after that, I'll be looking for some recommendations. I'll probably stick a poll on X, or if I can, on Instagram. I need to explore that option. And outside of that, it was Andor Season 2, Episodes 1 to 3 for TV. That's been the whole of Season 1 as well, obviously, which I've already spoken about all of that. I loved it. It really changed my mind on the whole series. But Andor Season 2, Episode 1 to 3, off to a bang, and really, really good. Really, really enjoying it. I have not been on top of people's feedbacks this month. I haven't asked for it, and so I'm not surprised you haven't really given it. So apologies for that, but I do have Hayley's update, which is she has read the Revenge of the Sith novelization. I'll come back to Revenge of the Sith. I have forgotten something huge there, haven't I? And she has read The High Republic Into the Light. She's listened to the audiobook of the Dr. Aphra audio drama, which I believe is an adaptation of Volume 1 of the Dr. Aphra comic book, which I've now read the comic, so I probably won't listen to the audio drama. Comics-wise, she has read Jango Fett, Trail of Lost Hope, which I think is the more recent one, isn't it? I believe. And also Dark Droids. Dark Droids was fun. I really, really enjoyed Dark Droids, and I'm actually now seeing a lot of the side elements to that story happening in the runs that I'm reading. So I'm enjoying that one as well. Hope you've enjoyed it too, Hayley. TV movies, she has rewatched Andor Season 1, and she is currently watching Andor Season 2. And she saw Revenge of the Sith Anniversary re-release, which I have also done. I went to that on Friday night, Friday the 25th. I think it was the day of release. Yes, 25th of April. I went to my not-so-local cinema, next town over, but it was the only one that was showing it. And the only option they had when I went was 4D, or 4DX as they call it. Anyone in the UK will probably determine which cinema chain I went to go see that off of that description. But it kept me awake. I'll put it that way. I obviously fell asleep during episode 1 last year, and I did not fall asleep in Revenge of the Sith. I would have been very, very disappointed in myself if I had, but I did not. What a film. It's just what a film. And actually in 4D, it's the opening scene, the battle over Coruscant, it jarred my back straight off the bat, and so it was quite painful for the rest of it, but it was worth it to see it. There was a smattering of laughs whenever any of the memes came up, that "do it" and "hello there," and all the other ones. Palpatine is deliciously evil in that film once he goes full Emperor, and it's just a great film. And there was actually a polite round of applause at the end of it as well, which I thought was quite nice to see. And I can't praise the film enough. I genuinely can't. In fact, at the point of recording this, I have just received a message from Josh Hoyt sharing a picture of him and his son, and they have just sat down to watch a 4D showing of it. So, Josh, hope your back holds up like mine didn't. But hope you're having a great time with it. But yeah, that's going to be it. It's a shorter episode this month, but as I say, I will release the interview with Hayley in its entirety. I will edit out the brief preamble we had at the beginning where we were just chatting. But other than that, everything will go in. And yeah, she had some great things to say, and I want you to hear them. So until next time, don't forget, follow the show, do all the social stuff, subscribe over to YouTube, and until next time, may the force be with you always.